Moderate helps everyone feel safe.
Huh?
Defending.
There you go.
All right, everybody. I'm here live with Accountability for All and Bananarama.
Head over, it's on my section.
We're in Tewksbury. See if they respect our rights. Thank you. Oh, warm in here. Thank you.
Just taking a look around. What's your name? Hi, how are you today? Good, thanks. Thanks for asking.
I just shared it on my community page for you. I just shared it on my community page for you. Oh, if you want to add me as a moderator, you click that. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, there you go. And then you just standard managing gives them way too much power.
Okay. Okay. So do you want me to bring that, Friday when I come get the sticker and all that? Okay. Okay. Can I help you?
Just taking a look around. What's your name?
Jackie,
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
How are you doing today? Doing well. It's a little cold out there.
Yes, it is.
I get, yeah, it's like a wake-up call that warm weather's gone when you wake up and there's frost on your windshield. I'm just getting ready for the weather.
Yep.
Anyone in this building a naughty person or mean that we should know about? Okay. All right. Thank you. This is my friend. Do you have access to the internet on your computer?
Yes.
Perfect. Just so you know, so you probably want to get the notifications. You can just type in his channel M.A.A. audit, M.A.A. audit. You can go over there and you can just subscribe to him. So then when he's live or has a video, you can catch him.
Okay.
Can you check it out for us? Perfect.
You know what, I just gotta finish up some work.
And then we'll check in. Okay, perfect. And she'll look up, she'll subscribe.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate
I'll
it.
come back down and follow up, make sure she does.
You won't regret it, that's for sure.
How we doing? What's your name?
Bill.
Bill, nice to meet you, Bill. How are you today?
Good.
Good.
I like that name. It's a good, strong name.
Good, strong name, yeah. So, what are you doing? Are you the health inspector?
I'm the health director, yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. You headed out to the field?
Yeah, I'm going out to do a perk test, soil test over on Farm Lane in Georgetown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was out there, I kind of come back and take care of that email, and then I'm going back out again.
Well, have fun. Stay
All right,
warm.
No problem.
Hello. Good, how are you? I like your flannel shirt. You ready for the holidays? Yeah. It's too cold out.
It's okay.
Do you live here in Georgetown?
No,
Nice rural small town. Do you live in a big city or like a small town?
it's a small town.
That's good. There's nothing wrong with small towns. They have better holidays. We just came by to check everything out and to see everyone's behaving. I can tell you are, of course, but is there anyone in the building you should know?
We like to see that smile.
Yeah. Is there anyone?
Anything we should put on the naughty list?
Yeah, is there anyone who should be on the naughty list?
I think everybody's.
You know,
nice
making
here.
a
This
list,
is small
checking
town.
it twice. Go ahead.
No.
You wanna find out?
No, she says.
You is.
She was about to. I think.
2 in a row. It
I
doesn't
don't want
matter.
to ruin your B-roll here.
This isn't B-roll. This is A-roll. Because you're an awesome employee.
That's true.
We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
I love
you
your
too.
hair.
Yeah,
I think
wonderful.
it's beautiful.
Thanks.
I can't get mine right. It's just it goes wild. So
Oh, come on.
I'm
It's
serious.
pretty.
No, it just goes wild. He's making a list down there and he's checking it twice.
He
and,
knows when you are sleeping.
And you can see I don't have that problem, so
Ah,
exclude me from that.
Oh, the hair.
Yes.
At least you're a guy. If you're a girl, it'd be a little embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, I'd have a wig on.
That's right.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
You too.
Yes.
Someone called me.
Yes, well, he said he didn't necessarily have to do it that way. But I wanted to see when you would be ready for an inspection. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, just so I can let the building inspector know. But none of those walls are gonna have insulation in them? I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay? Okay, all right, I'll let the, sure. Okay, thanks. No. All right, bye. Hi, can I help you?
Hey, Robin.
Hi,
How are you?
good.
I have like this new ability where I feel like I can look at someone, kind of tell their name. And I looked at you and you look like a Robin. What is your actual name?
Robin.
No, it's not. What?
That's me.
I got. How do you think I did that?
Can I help you with something?
There's a whole bunch of name tags out here. Excellent.
You know, I didn't think Robin though. I only thought chaos coordinator.
Oh, well, that too.
We just came in to say hi.
Hi,
How you doing today?
good.
How's it going, my friend?
He's not an employee. He's just using the computer.
It's a. I didn't realize this was public office.
I'm
Oh,
just letting him use the computer right now.
Yeah, so, actually, I was discussing this the other day. I was trying to help some folks out. And we were talking about, like, if something says employees only, and then a member of the public is let in for any reason, that non-public forum has now been designated a public forum because, there's no protected classes. You can't differentiate between one citizen versus the other. So this is now open to the public.
Right, well, they're allowed to use that computer right there.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think that's great. Because it's like, you guys should get rid of the employees only sign.
That.
So then they know that they can, that was an old one?
Yeah.
It's very nice to let people come in and use a computer.
We have to.
It's very, it's like
We
a
have to, she says.
regulation thing.
Well, yeah.
Gotcha.
We have a computer available for them to.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good. At least get their permits done. They don't have to go clog up the library,
Yep.
All right, well, Robin, you have a phenomenal day.
All right, thank you, you too.
Wow, Robin's so nice.
I know. It's because she's the chaos coordinator. She knows how to coordinate the chaos. You know what I mean? That's a tough job.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
good, how are you?
Orlando, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Having a good day?
So far, my blinds aren't up yet. But
Nice
otherwise-
sunny office. I was gonna say, you gotta have to sit in the corner to try and give your eyes a rest.
Well, we just did a historic window restoration.
Oh, okay. How much hoops did you have to jump through to get that done?
More than I would like.
Okay, but no sleeping on the job, okay?
No, well, ideally, we wanted to use a replica window, and, we ended up having to rebuild the existing window, so that's a little bit more time consuming and laborious,
Mm-hmm.
thus more expensive.
I always like find it interesting when you go in old buildings and people like, and I'm very hard on government when they don't keep infrastructure and buildings up to date. Like that, because we pay taxes for it to be, and then you'll go in some of these older places and the projects are always long, and I'm like, listen, I've kind of delved into it a little bit. It takes a lot to change a light bulb in a sewer building.
It takes a lot, right now, it's taking a lot to do everything in every building, and I think there's just a lack of ability for us to attract great workers to the government job.
Right.
I think a lot of that is just red tape, and that red tape comes with an adder. So your municipal projects are already more expensive, or your municipal government projects are already more expensive. And then on top of that, that administrative layer, I think tends to add a little bit more cost from the vendor perspective.
Right.
Because everything, time is money.
Right, of course.
And when
we
you're
deal with the
in a lot
government-
more demand, you're setting the price higher.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Question for you.
yeah,
What does the revolving fund, what is that used for?
which revolving?
I don't know, the one that's on this paper over here. They're trying to increase the fund from 60,000 to 90,000.
And she's looking at the copy machine. I mean,
Oh,
this is
that's
public.
that's for
Yeah, it's a
Camp
copy
Dennison.
machine.
No, this is public.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to show
I just
him
wanted
what's.
to know what the revolving fund was.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I didn't know if you knew
so
what she was
each-
reading. I didn't know what was over there.
So a revolving fund is a,
Do you mind if I step in?
yeah, come on in, join the party. So a revolving fund,
Nice.
it gets it gets hot after a while, but,
Oh.
so revolving funds are basically fee-for-service accounts, so they're off the budget books.
Okay,
So what happens is, say I'm running like a swimming revolving funds for just about any. So what you can spend, because you're limited by the revolving fund, what you can spend on a fiscal year basis.
okay.
So
But
they-
that makes
they-
sense,
they
why
wanna
it would
do
be
a big-
revolving fund, because it
Yeah.
kind of is a broad, general,
So Camp
Goes to
Dennison,
different things.
if you get a chance to go by there, it's actually really nice. It's a campground that the town owns.
okay.
And so we rent it out for, facilities for camps. People pay to use the facility and we put the money back in, but they're doing a big renovation to what is a historic building.
Which
So
is
they-
why it needs from 60 to 90, right? That's why.
I think they're giving themselves a little bit of a cushion there, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't create conflict with the statute on revolving funds, it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
But we'll be
That's
dis-
interesting.
we'll be
If there's
discussing
any
that
left
tonight.
over,
Yeah.
if there's any left over, you can revolve it to.
Well, yeah, no, and that's what I was seeing, is they're gonna discuss this at the select board meeting, like, it's all like public knowledge, I was just kinda curious on what revolving was.
You're doing a great job, Mr. Pacheco. Excellent
well,
job.
thank
you.
Appreciate
We-
you talking.
Listen, I think we've got nothing to hide. I think municipalities should be as transparent as we possibly can. So, mi casa, su casa.
I think you're dynamite.
You've been here less than.
Thanks.
How long you been here? Less than 3 years, right? Less than
Yeah, I was in Lancaster for 15 years prior to
Okay,
this.
so your predecessor also did a pretty good job. We were actually just over in Lancaster.
Oh, how is Kate?
She, not well after our last visit. She didn't have the same air towards transparency that you have.
Oh, I find that hard to believe, but
She, listen,
I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't want to.
there was a guy that like got physical with me and hip checked me and shut a door on me in a
Jeez.
public place, and I went to complain about it and came back and she had done nothing about it. She had done nothing about it. She admitted she did nothing about it, and the video had went viral. And I was like, "Oh, do you think that's an appropriate way for employees to act?" And she created a whole bunch of excuses for him. And I was like, "Bottom line, you can't put your hands on someone for conducting a constitutionally protected activity. If I was assaulted that way because of my sexuality, because of my practice of religion, we'd be having an entirely different discussion. Somehow my camera makes it okay to be assaulted. So I don't know. I think that the taxpayers could have that 200,000 plus that she's getting could be much based on her actions so far, and I'm pretty fair and very nice to you. That $200,000 being wasted could be allocated somewhere much better. go back into the community. The library is a gorgeous facility. I think we met some nice people there, but Kate's leadership seems to be, at least her coaching and refocusing towards insolent staff is lacking.
So, listen, I'm not gonna make any excuses for
Right.
an incident I wasn't part in, but I do think the cameras for people who are uncomfortable with that, because it's a lot, you know, for somebody who's just sitting in their office, you got 3 cameras pointed at them. I think that can create a little bit of tension, with people, and again, I'm not condoning anything.
Do you know who the guy was that assaulted me?
I don't.
The IT director. So he's in,
John DiTomaso?
yeah. So he's the guy in charge of looking at all the cameras.
You know, again, I've known John for years.
They
This
call
is one
him
of-
John Dita asshole.
He's one of the softest spoken people I've
Well,
ever encountered.
he's also a soft person because as soon as I puffed my chest up at him, he crabbed back into his.
Yeah, I
It
can't
was
imagine
crazy.
John would ever
Yeah,
want to get physical
I
with anybody.
stood at his door and he was on the phone. So I purposely didn't interrupt him. I wanted him to be able to finish his work before we engaged. I stood outside of his door and then he got up, went to go shut the door in my face, hit me in the shoulder. So I just stood there, right? Then he opens the door again to come out of the office. I step back to give him room to go. He purposely steps into me, throws me a shoulder, and then I puffed up my chest. I got tough with him. Then he ran back in his office and hid like a little coward.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. If you hadn't moved, like that door would have hurt you.
But I do think sometimes that you know, if, like when you're walking in the street and somebody goes like, hey,
Well, no, we
We're not-
weren't
we're
even
not-
close to him though.
we're not immune to being filmed. I mean, these are public spaces. I think it's unusual because it doesn't happen on a regular basis. So I think people get a little concerned and, you know, I think sometimes they feel threatened by that. So just, you know, the way you guys came in today, I thought it was very professional, very soft.
That's how it was with the guy
And
who was
if-
standing in the doorway.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
with you.
I think if you, because I know how that, because he's on that bottom level, so you come in through the parking lot, and his office is right there
Right
on the
there,
left.
yeah.
So I think sometimes when you're not expecting that, I think it can just be a little
But
off-putting to
here's
people.
the thing, right? If I ever feel threatened, I don't run towards something. Like, so if someone pulls a gun, right, and they're pointing it at you, I don't say, oh my God, I'm threatened, let me run towards your gun. And my super threatening camera that could somehow maybe like reach out and smack them somehow from 5 feet away, like, first of all, if you don't want to be on camera, I suggest you stay away from it. Secondly, I never accept an excuse where someone is afraid of something, so they go to assault it.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
and not to mention, like when you were standing in the doorway, like he was kind of like how we were before.
Yeah.
I hadn't. It was just him and I at the time, and I wasn't even visible to the guy. He wouldn't have even known I was there. So it was just him standing
He had a
there.
learning experience. He took some pictures with his cell phone. I told him I was going to get the pictures. He said no, we wouldn't because it was his private phone. Of course, he created a public record, so I got those pictures.
I think that was the best photo you've ever taken
Yeah.
on a like a whole public record
I
thing.
mean, obviously, you worked them. I don't want to make
Yeah.
you feel uncomfortable. I'm just
No,
saying.
no,
like,
and-
there's never an excuse for it. Like the way that we came into your office is the way with over 2,000 videos. I've walked to every single office. Problem is that he saw something he didn't like. He acted egregiously and unlawfully. He broke the law. He committed simple assault and battery, right? And he made himself look like an asshole, right? But that's just on him.
Yeah.
He just made himself
True.
look like an asshole.
It's funny how the
Kate-
camera does that to people.
Yeah, Kate took $220,000 and made the entire building look like an asshole. And that was what my problem is, because you live in small communities, we live in a small community not far from here, and people do have faith in their government. People do, like, and a lot of people from Lancaster saw that, and they're like, I walk in there every day, and I'm so disgusted with how they behaved and how you were treated, because the reason we are so professional is so when someone acts like that, they have no excuse. They can't say it's because we were aggressive or confrontational or we were yelling at them. They literally did it to themselves. There's no other excuse that could be our fault. And this is why we conduct, you know, these projects the way we do.
Well, and you see, you know, I have a very clear open door
Open door,
policy.
yeah.
So residents come in, it doesn't have to be Georgetown residents, you know, we're here for any aspect of municipal government that impacts Georgetown that you want to discuss. And so, you know, if I felt threatened, I would simply very politely say, I'm comfortable with that, and I would close the door. I don't necessarily always think that's that's a good message to send to people, though, at the same time.
Because you work for.
Well, I want people to know that I don't care who you are, and I don't, I'm not here to be showered with praise either. I know what this job entails, and sometimes you're gonna make difficult decisions that are unpopular. If I was concerned about being loved on the job, then I wouldn't have a hot wife to go home to at night.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
It's a good way to put it.
Like we did a follow-up too at you guys pronounce it Lancaster?
Yes,
Okay.
well, at least I do.
Okay, well, it's just different everywhere. From my hometown, it's pronounced that way too. But, so we went back and that guy, John, he acted the same way. Noah's, giving him
Very
a
simple.
verbal slap on the
For
wrist or whatever.
Forgo complaints, we just apologize. We're in
Yeah.
second grade. We do something wrong, we apologize.
Yeah, and like there was no like learned behavior, like it was basically the same. So like for the people, there's something to be learned when you treat somebody with like just complete disrespect. Like, but he didn't learn anything.
That's okay, I'm pretty sure when I puffed my chest out at him, he now wears Depends diapers because he had a little
Well,
accident.
We don't have to like each other, we don't have to agree with each other, but I think at a minimum, we need to have respectful dialogue,
Yeah.
because I think that's probably the one thing that really lacks right now in just everywhere.
In general,
The
yeah.
Facebook culture has really allowed a lot of people to, I think, say a lot of things that they.
So, see, this is Kate, I know you're gonna be watching, you're subscribed, she's subscribed. This is how, and he says hi, he says you're very, very nice, but this is how, Mr. Orlando Pacheco or Pacheco?
Pacheco.
Two pronunciations. This is.
Yeah, depending on where you're from. If you're from like the Cape, you say it one way. If you're from the North Shore, you say it a different
Well,
way.
I was assaulted by someone named Pacheco on film with a file folder, so there's different pronunciation, but camera, and just said, oh, you can't film me, and then whacked us, right? That would obviously be.
I would say, one, I would let them know that they can film you, and whacking you is not gonna get anywhere.
Right, so that's perfect, and you would obviously coach them, and there'd be some.
I don't, listen, these are highly skilled professionals that work here, they don't need to be coached, this is the A team.
If you were stuck with the B team and someone had done that, obviously you'd be like, listen, you can't go hit members of the public.
No.
Right, perfect.
And we've had some difficult people come in here.
Yeah, I know, it's a government office, and people going through some shit.
What I've always coached the staff is, be calm, be polite, and if there's a reason to call the police, and let the professionals handle it. You're not in the business of doing that.
See, Kate, that's perfect. Kate, I'm going to use this as an instructional video for Kate.
Kate can call me anytime, don't you worry.
Kate, I'm speaking, there's a lot of Kates out there.
I know she's doing a good job. A lot of those projects that I was working on in Lancaster before I left, like that 117 intersection, they came out swimmingly nice. So, yeah.
They're reaping the benefits of all your hard work, and she's sitting behind a desk letting people get assaulted.
She's she's shepherding everything through. That's how you gotta do it. The incident with John aside, YouTubing while I'm on the clock.
No, that's all right. We understand. It's and then you'll see Kate's face, and then you'll see. So you'll know it's him.
YouTube accountability for all.
Accountability for all. Accountability amplified.
Yeah.
And M.A.A.
A audit.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I will, on my personal time, I will take a look at that. And I'm gonna give a plug to another great TA, Tracy Blaze in Newbury.
Well, there.
I'm assuming,
He plugged them.
I assume you visit everybody.
I think Tracy.
Yeah, this is our
right?
second
I think
Tracy
she's
Blaze.
gonna get a kick out of the fact that we're saying you threw her under the bus, but really that's not true.
No, it's
You're
great.
giving her
As long
praise.
as everything goes well. So we're not gonna go there right now. We're not gonna go to see Tracy in Newbury.
Well, I just
Thank
wanted
you,
to say,
Orlando.
contrary to the pillow, I don't think you're sleeping on the job.
No, so.
He's wide awake.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, so I have a Siberian Husky puppy that I just got.
Oh, there you go.
And so he will come in from time to time and he sleeps on it, although he's gotten too big for it now,
So he sleeps on the job.
How are the cops here?
They're phenomenal.
So, all right, good. Is that good though?
No, I think we got some of the best public safety services around.
Oh, you're still in the cameras, but you're not.
But-
I know, I stopped.
But
actually did.
you know, I'm a little saddened because Don Cudmore, our longtime police chief, is retiring. But we're in contract negotiations tonight at 6 o'clock before
Yeah,
this.
there's a big meeting.
We're
To
gonna
hire so you hire
hire in the next police chief.
internally?
No, it's an external hire.
Where is he from?
Raleigh. Dave Sedgwick, the captain in Raleigh,
Uh-huh.
phenomenal guy.
We've
I
been
hope
to
he-
Raleigh.
I hope he closed the deal.
He appeared in one of my videos.
He did.
He did.
I hope it went well
You'll have to find out.
because I'll look.
Cruise.
Yeah.
He's probably
Accountability
the
for all.
thumbnail.
I'll be
So
looking.
here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna let you go to your board meeting. I'm gonna wait until you announce it, and then I'm gonna release a video, and you'll find out how he did. You might want to call. You might want to call and ask him if there's anything that you need to know about. Because cops are usually the one things, right? That we need to know about. You should ask him if there's anything you need to know about.
I will, but I'll have to let the board do its due diligence first.
He did just fine. You can.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say it, but I didn't want to rat him out. He typically, if he heard that the guy was possibly going to be the next police chief and he did poorly, he would have just openly been like, that guy can't be the next
No,
police
I would have
chief.
been at your meeting tonight.
Yeah.
No, I think I mean it's funny. Hiring a police chief is, if not your most important hire, your second most important hire as in a municipality. I always, you know, when I'm advising boards, I always tell them your most important hire: superintendent of schools, police chief, high school principal, fire chief, because I think TAs, you know, maybe.
Well, see, cops only go through less than 6 months of training, so I would say your number one hire is going to be, you know, your superintendent. Second would be principal, because you got to focus on education. A lot of these cops I meet is the dumbest box of rocks, real idiots.
But well, even if they are, good leadership make sure they're one held accountable, or two, they're coached up to be better cops.
Right, but if you're in a leadership position and your
I like
cops are
this
just
guy.
undereducated and they don't know anything, you can't, like, what are you gonna coach? You can't recoach education.
Well, then I think the issue is we're not going to give guns to people who aren't qualified to carry them.
Well, that's the other thing. So, Massachusetts police officers, I'm sure you probably didn't know this, police officers are the only people that are allowed to carry firearms without a license to carry LTC concealed. They carry on their $100 between the licensing, the exams, and all the administrative fees that are entailed by it. And then the person that's going to give them a license to carry a firearm is someone that doesn't have a license to carry a firearm. In fact, over 83% of police officers in the state of Massachusetts do not have a license to carry a badge. So, you're giving out guns to people that have taken no qualifications, but expect those same qualifications to be held up. Did you know that?
I did not know that
Yeah.
specifically, no.
Well, now you know. So you didn't
And
have.
I'm not a huge fan of police reform. I've made that clear. I think we've punished a lot of good cops at the expense of the few bad cops. But the one thing I will say about
Mass cleansing, man. Sometimes you just gotta take out.
well,
the
I do
cancer.
think with post, what we've done is we've created a higher level for the profession as a whole, and I think 99% of cops in the state won't have an issue.
Yeah, they've done a lot of learning.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you've gone to other parts of the country, and I've traveled a
I've
lot,
been to almost every state.
I think you can't do better than Massachusetts. I really believe that.
I think there are some states that are better as far as the police are concerned.
Policing, yeah.
But there are a lot of states that are really bad.
As a whole, minus the state police, if you just look at local municipalities, I wouldn't disagree with you.
Oh, state police.
There's-
Maybe we should throw them off the table
there's a
when
very-
we're talking about it.
There's a very specific way to police in small communities. You know, community policing is different everywhere you go, and I think the adaptability of law enforcement is very important.
I'll tell you one thing.
People want to feel safe, but they also want to know that, you know, when the shit hits the fan, you know, that their folks are ready. You know, things.
Tell you one thing, I'm a convicted felon. I used to have an LTC, and I got a better shot than any cop in that force. Promise you that. Malicious, man. Well trained, well kept, well armed.
Uvalde in Texas, they definitely were not prepared and ready.
Brave heroes.
Super brave.
Well, I will tell you, the one time I went to Texas, I couldn't believe how many people were just walking around with guns on their shoulders.
Yeah,
Right.
It's great.
But then you've got cops that can't run into the school to help. Like, that blows my mind. When you've got, like, a bunch of people that are armed and ready and willing to, like, protect the people.
Well, I think you're seeing, and this is something that we're getting into, we're getting into a completely different subject, but
Right.
how we design schools now,
Right.
the focus, as much as we have to design schools around security and education now.
You know what,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the deliverable is that end product for the kids.
So how many states should we read? So did you know that a week before that tragedy, Uvalde Police Department did a live shooter scenario at that same school where over 20-something different states and over 100 law enforcement agencies came to learn. So 100 different law enforcement agencies that covered more than half of the United States went to the Uvalde police, to the Uvalde school to learn how to defend against an active shooter scenario. So ripple effect is, if that's how the trainers did, how do you think the trained would do?
Right. Like,
You didn't know that,
Yeah.
did you?
I mean, it's an interesting sort of
had it on their-
dynamic because training it, you know, you see the difference between.
They had it on their
training and
Facebook page, Orlando, and I even commented, I said, oh man, how many schools should be shut down following this one? Then they removed it from their Facebook page.
Oh. Well, you know you're in a Massachusetts town hall when the TA's shrinking Dunkins, so.
yeah, that's true.
Better than Starbucks.
Hey,
Right.
Duncan's coming to the west.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Cheaper too.
Hey,
You have a great day, sir.
we'll see ya.
To the west coast, though, you know. Also,
Right, right.
that revolving fund, I think, was really interesting.
You have to see if she's subscribed to it.
Yeah, that's
She-
the
she
upstairs.
closed her thing. Or was it
So that's
downstairs?
downstairs. We go over there.
I'm the looker in the room.
Check out Brian's local over
You know, I for the most part like that guy.
there. Yeah, I see that. Like that's the thing. Like, you know, he already said he's made it public that he's not a big fan of police reform, and of course, when he was hired, like, you know, he has his political standpoints, and then he's like, I don't think that just anyone should get a license to carry a gun, but he didn't even know that in Massachusetts you can be a cop and never get a license. The only person in Massachusetts that can get a gun without a background check and without a license is a police officer.
But now he knows, and now he's gonna do a bit of research, and he might just perform his opinion on that.
I mean, as a town administrator, he can require his police officers all be licensed.
You wanna go back and tell him?
I guess it's just another special treatment that they get for being a police officer.
Alright, we didn't forget you. You said you were gonna subscribe to my friend over there.
Yes, I know, I just can't do it at work. I'll have to go home and do it.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna subscribe, that's so nice of you. What was his channel name?
I forget, can you write it down?
I can't write
We can write it down. Did you know they poop?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you know they poop?
it. And puke.
Oh, do they?
I like that poster. I'm just gonna take a pen real quick, I'm gonna give it back.
It says, we poop. You pick it up. Any questions? So I asked her if she knew that they pooped.
That's him right there.
All right,
Alright, thanks.
thank you.
Such a random question, but it's so funny. Did you know that they poop?
Everybody poops.
Everybody poops.
Check the library.
The bowel movement?
The BMs, check the DMs about BMs.
Okay, people, we're having fun here with accountability for all and accountability amplified. We're leaving Tewksbury
The
now.
whole sleeping on the job thing.
Yeah, that was,
Funny. What was the town in Southern Newberry? Is that it?
Yeah, but I feel like he's gonna fall over there.
Oh, yeah, we just gotta go with them.
Hi,
He's
you can
definitely gonna
pause
fall
this?
over there.
You can't pause it, but you can mute it.
We're
The
going
three
live,
dots.
please.
Oh, okay.
I'm live.
3 dots, and you can mute. Unmute.
Okay, I got you.
JC News Now. I just saw him pop up in here.
Oh yeah, JC News. Shout out to JC.
He's just her. When he calls the cops unhinged, he says unhinged, and I think it's the cutest thing.
You're unhinged, sir.
Yeah, his accent's so cool.
There's a book, Everyone Poops.
Yeah, there is. That's why I said everybody poops. It's a book. You go right to your local library.
They really should come out with a movie called The Bowel Movement. It sounds scary, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're gonna call it BMs, and everyone's gonna think it's about their baby mama.
No, that's why you call it The Bowel Movement, Josh. And then when I travel in the car, if I'm live, I usually point it at my face so that people in the stream can't know where we're going. It's all stealth mode. And then, boom, they know where we are.
Yes.
But that's just what I do.
You might actually want. I'll tell you how long it is. The next place where I was just.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of this. I'll go back into it.